In the last period, we have studied about the structure of the unit cell. You can see that there are, in this kind of arrangement, my dear students, we have 8 different unit cell present into it. So if you look into this is what it is, your face centered unit cell. Face centered unit cell, or you can say it is face centered arrangement. So in this arrangement, what you can see here, if we arrange the particles into the face centered manner, my dear student, you can see that in a given unit cell, you can see in a given unit cell, there are 8 smaller region or 8 repeating units, and in each of this, my dear student, you will find one tetrahedral void. You can understand it this way. You can see this is your tetrahedral void actually. So in this particular case, you can see that we have we can show this tetrahedral void. Here in this case, suppose in this region we have tetrahedral void. Now we have studied that if we look into the numbers, if we arrange n particles, if n particles are arranged, we know that we have 2n tetrahedral voids. And we have n octahedral voids. So now if we look into the face-centered cubic cell, my dear student, this is a face-centered cubic cell. This is face-centered. In face-centered cubic cell, we have 8 particles at 8 corners. Each particle at 8 corners, that is 1 by 8 into 8, so total 1 particle. And if we look at each particle at center of the face, and we have 6 faces. So total number we can calculate it as a 6 multiplied by 1 by 2, that is equal to 3. And therefore total number of particles is equal to 3 plus 1, that is equal to 4. Now if you do not understand even this way, let's look at this. This is your face-centered unit cell, my dear students. This is your face-centered unit cell. Face-centered unit cell. In this face-centered unit cell, my dear students, when you look at, you can see that there are 8 particles at 8 corners. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. These all are present as 1 by 8. So here we have 1 by 8 particle, 8 times that is equal to 1 particle. Now you can see that there are 6 faces and each faces has got half of the particle. So this is 1 by 2, 1 time 1, this is 2, this is what it is 3, 1 by 2. Then we have this one, 1 by 2, fourth one. Then we have this one, my dear student, this is also 1 by 2. And then we have this one, 1 by 2. So we have on the right side of our, we have the left. Suppose you are standing over here and you are looking at yourself, because I am looking at myself. So my left hand side 1 by 2, my right hand side 1 by 2. You can see that two faces. Then my front 1 by 2 and my back 1 by 2, and then my above 1 by 2 and my below or under 1 by 2. So there are 6 times 1 by 2. That is equal to 3. So if we make the total out of these two, total number of particle, that is equal to 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4, my dear students. So in a face-centered cubic unit cell, there are total 4 particles present. We have just seen that if we have n particles arranged, the tetrahedral voids is equal to 2n. So if n is equal to 4, then 2n is equal to 8. That means we should have 8 tetrahedral voids. And you can see that we have 8. I have already shown you that in a face-centered cubic cell, we have 8 smaller region available. You can see this is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then the below 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we have total 8 regions where we can find out the, we have total 8 regions where we can find out the tetrahedral void. You can even see that here in one region which I have shaded, where we can get the tetrahedral void. Same way, there are such 8 units available where we can get 8 such tetrahedral voids. So now, my dear student, you can easily understand that if we have 4 particles in face-centered cubic cell, then we will have 8 tetrahedral voids. Now we need to study about the octahedral voids, my dear students. To make you understand the octahedral void, I have drawn these various pictures. Now you can see this is again the face-centered unit cell where at the corners there are particles available, which I have not shown you, but I am just showing it to you right now. So these are the 8 particles at 8 corner, and apart from that, my dear student, we have these particles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 particle at 6 spaces, or 6 particle at the center of these 6 spaces. Now, my dear student, as there are 6 particles available at the center of the faces, you can see one complete octahedral void is present at the center. This octahedral void I have shown you with the black pen inside the face-centered cubic cell. I hope, my dear students, you all can understand. बच्चों क्या आपको दिख रही है एक octahedral void exactly inside the face-centered cubic cell? You got to answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So one octahedral void, you understood it well. Okay. Now you can see that we can have this. See, when we have a cubic unit cell or face centered cubic unit cell, we are having 12 edges of this unit cell. Now you will say 12 how, sir? So let me show you once again those 12. See, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Now this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, this is 9, this is 10, this is 11, this is 12. So this cubic unit cell has got 12 edges. On each edge, I am talking about this edge now. On each edge, my dear student, we have this type of octahedral void, which I have shown you with the black pen. Can you see this black pen octahedral void?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This type of octahedral void is present on each edges. And this type of edge is available, or this type of void is available 1/4 of this void is available, and other 3/4 is shared with the other unit cell. Now, if you do not understand it by words, I'll show you one picture where you can understand it well. Just have a look to this, my dear student. Please look at this unit. You can see here various unit cells. But you can see that we have one unit cell with the blue color, another one is with the green color, and the third one I have shown you with the red color. You can see, my dear students. Now we have two octahedral void. One I have shown you with the brown color. You can see this is brown color and this is black color. So here you have two octahedral voids. These two octahedral voids are sharing their part. 1/4 of this black part is shared with the unit cell, and same way you can see that this black octahedral void is shared with the another unit cell. So this black octahedral void is present both in the blue one as well as in the red one. बच्चों दिख रहा है आपको? See,
Yes, sir.
the octahedral voids, only those constituent particles are shown are needed. मतलब यहाँ पे मैंने सिर्फ वही constituent particle दिखाए हैं जिनकी जरूरत थी. But you can easily see that edge of unit cell on which the octahedral void is formed. So now if you really look into just the blue color of void, let me show you this way. I think you will understand it better now. Just a moment. Just have a look to the void which is okay. Now you can see the unit cell. This unit cell is only of sky blue color. Can you see the sky blue color unit cell, my dear student? I am talking about this one.
Yes, sir.
This is the unit cell what I am talking about.
Yes, sir.
So in this unit cell, you can see that there is in a center, there is brown colored octahedral void. Can you see the brown colored octahedral void in the center?
Yes, sir.
But you can see that this 1/4 part of this black color tetrahedral octahedral void is also present. दिख रहा है बच्चों? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is the 1/4 part of the octahedral void. 1/4 of octahedral void. Inside blue unit cell. Or can you see this? In the blue 1/4 of the octahedral void, in a blue cube we can say. Do you understand? Please reply.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
now you can
Yes,
see
sir.
that this is what you can see on the one edge. Now, if you really think of this arrangement in a very large manner, where each unit cell is being repeated here and there, then what you can think, my dear student, यहाँ पे तो मैंने I have just shown you some few unit cells, but there will be lots and lots of unit cell around it. So on this each edge which I am showing you, see this black void is on this edge. You can see that this is the edge where the black void is available 1/4 inside this blue colored blue colored cubic set. So see, this type of other 11 edges are also available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So such 11 other edges are available, my dear students. And all these 11 edges have 1/4. So total 12 edges has got 1/4 of the octahedral void. I hope, my dear students, now you understand. In a face-centered unit cell, if you have one octahedral void exactly in the center, then on each edges, for example, for these edges, we have got 1/4 of this black octahedral void. Same way on each edge, my dear students, you will have some other octahedral void, 1/4 of the octahedral void coming inside the sky blue unit cell. So total 112 multiplied by 1/4, that gives you 3 octahedral void coming from the various edges to the unit cell, and 1 octahedral void is already present at the center. 1 octahedral void is already present at the center. So my dear students, now you can understand that in each face-centered unit cell, which I have shown you, see, once again, I'll explain you. 1 octahedral void is already present inside the unit cell, and this type of void, which is 1/4 present on each edge, such we have 12 edges, and total there are 3 octahedral void. Thus 1 plus 3 is equal to 4 octahedral voids in face-centered unit cell. So once again, if I explain, my dear student, to you, that we know that when n particles are arranged in a particular unit cell, there will be tetrahedral voids which are 2n. But when n is equal to 4, my dear students, we have 2n, that is 8 tetrahedral voids. But now if we look at the same, we know that there is n is equal to 4. When, my dear student, when n is equal to 4, my dear students, let's understand it here. When n is equal to 4, my dear students, we have 4 particles arranged. So we have n is equal to 4 particles arranged. Now if we look into the octahedral voids, n is equal to octahedral voids, because octahedral voids, and therefore 4 octahedral voids we should have. So one octahedral void is at the center of the unit cell, whereas 1/4 of the other octahedral voids coming from each edge, and we have such 12 edges: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 and 12. So we have 12 such edges. On each edge we have 1/4 of the octahedral void. So total 3 octahedral voids. So when we make sum, 1 octahedral void at center and 3 octahedral void at the edges, we get total 4 octahedral voids available with us. And my dear students, we can say that if n particles are arranged, if n is the number of particles, then tetrahedral voids is equal to 2n and octahedral voids is equal to n. Now if you n is equal to 4 in face centered unit cell, the number of tetrahedral voids are 2 multiplied by 4, that is 8, and number of octahedral void is equal to 4. So that is what we have calculated, that in 8 such cubic units, as we have shown in 1 unit, in 8 such cubic units, these are the 8 such cubic units, we have total 8 tetrahedral voids. Same way, my dear students, we have total 4 octahedral voids, one at the center of the unit cell, whereas 1 by 4th of the octahedral void at each of the edges. And this is how we can easily say that the number of, or we can easily understand about the voids, my dear students. So what do we simply understand about the voids is that, my dear students, if the number voids are of two type, my dear students, we have two type of voids. One is known as the octahedral voids. Another is known as the tetrahedral voids. Now you need to remember that if you have x tetrahedral voids, then octahedral voids would be x by 2. If you have y octahedral voids, then tetrahedral voids are going to be 2y. So this is what it is the relation between the, this is what it is the relation between the voids, that the number of, what we can easily say is number of octahedral voids is equal to 1 by 2 number of tetrahedral voids. So this is how, my dear students, the relation between octahedral void and tetrahedral void, that number of octahedral void is equal to 1 by 2 number of tetrahedral voids. Or, my dear students, we can say that tetrahedral voids or we can say number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2 multiplied by number of octahedral voids. So this is how, my dear students, we understand the relationship between the octahedral void and tetrahedral voids. Now, my dear students, we want to understand once again about the relationship between the number of particles. So, my dear students, if number of particles arranged, if number of particles present into the unit cell is equal to, let's say, n, then, my dear students, we will have tetrahedral voids, or we should say number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2n and number of octahedral voids is equal to n. So we can say that the number of particles arranged and number of octahedral voids are equal, but the number of tetrahedral voids are double the number of particles arranged. Or we can say the number of tetrahedral voids are double the number of octahedral voids. So it should be very clear in your mind that if we have the face centered unit face-centered cubic unit cell, it has 4 particles per unit cell. And therefore it has got a 2 into 4, that is equal to 8 tetrahedral voids, and it will have 4 octahedral voids. And that is what we have seen by the different pictorial or different pictures. We have tried to understand that. Now, if my dear students, if something you are not able to understand, you can ask me. बच्चों, ये पूरा एक्सप्लेनेशन करने के बाद अब भी अगर आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है तो आप लोग मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं. बच्चों, कुछ ऐसा है जो आपको अभी भी समझ में नहीं आया तो आप मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं.
आ गया समझ में.
Yes, sir. समझ.
सब लोग बताएंगे तो मुझे खुशी होगी.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No
समझ
doubt.
आ गया
Yes,
sir.
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 Thank you,
Yes, sir.
बच्चों. Thank you for your good response. So now let's move forward. So see, I have written the text, and in this text also, I am trying to give you the revision. So let's move forward and understand. It says what is being understood from all this discussion. What is being understood? What do we understand from all this discussion? If n particles are arranged, tetrahedral voids will be 2n. Please remember that we will have 2n tetrahedral voids and n octahedral voids. At the same time, in a unit cell, octahedral voids, 1 at the center and 12 multiplied by 1 by 4, that is equal to 3 at the 12 edges, that is 1/4 in each unit cell. At the same time, 8 tetrahedral voids when the arrangement in unit cell of FCC type, then that has 4 atoms, that is 1 at 8 corner and 3 at 6 faces. So if we look into the FCC kind of unit cell, we will have 1 particle at 8 corner and 3 particles at 6 faces. These 3 we get it by 1 by 2 multiplied by 6. 1 by 2 multiplied by 6. And this 1 particle we get it as 1 by 8 multiplied by 8. And if we have 4 such particles, my dear students, we can easily understand that out of all those 4 particles, we will have 4 octahedral voids and 8 tetrahedral voids. So by using this knowledge, my dear students, now we can easily solve the problems. So let us solve one problem. Problem number 1. A compound is formed by 2 elements X and Y. We have 2 elements X and Y. Atoms of element Y as anion. Please remember that anions are bigger in size, so they are arranged as a particle. And the cation are generally placed into the various voids. So Y as an anion makes CCP. CCP means cubic close packing or FCC. Those of the element X, which is a cation, occupy all the octahedral voids. What is the formula of the compound? So here we want to find out the formula of the compounds. Please remember that we have Y, which is anion. So this anion takes place all these, all this base structure, which I have shown you with the pencil in this arrangement, you can see. Please try to understand it well so that you will never have a problem in your future to understand any such question. See, I'm talking about this figure. Here you can see that in this particular figure, we have shown something with the pencil. This pencil is known as the base arrangement, and this arrangement is taken by the anions. In this given problem, anions take such all the arrangements. So we will have two type of voids produced. One is octahedral void and another is tetrahedral voids. Now we have anions, that means Y have been arranged. Now we will put X, but we will put X only on the octahedral void. The question says that the X is put only on the octahedral void, not on the tetrahedral void. Please remember, my dear students. So let us read the question once again so that you can understand it well. Let me read the question for you once again. A compound is formed by the element X and Y. So we have this compound made from element X and Y. Atoms of element Y, which is an anion, make CCP. CCP means this pencil one arrangement. And those of element X, that is cation, occupy all the octahedral voids. Please remember, this X occupies only the octahedral voids, not the tetrahedral voids. Now we are well aware that if n elements or n atoms are arranged, if number of atoms is equal to n, then octahedral voids are also n. And tetrahedral voids are 2n. But you can see that if y are arranged n, then x are also, because they occupy the octahedral void, x are also arranged is equal to n. So the number of atoms of X and Y are going to be same, like NaCl or KBr or HCl, where both the element have same number of atoms. And that is why we can write the formula as XY. Now let me explain this to you, or let me see what I have written as a text. So when particles are closely packed, resulting in either CCP or HCP structure, resulting either CCP or HCP structure, two type of voids are generated. While the number of octahedral void present in the lattice is equal to the number of close packed particle, and the number of tetrahedral voids generated is twice the number of close packed particles. Now what happens in ionic solids, the bigger ion, which is anion, form the close packed structure, while the smaller anion, usually cation, occupy the voids. If cation is if cation is really very small, it will fill the tetrahedral voids, and if bigger, it will fill the octahedral void. This is also a very important information, that if the cation is small, then it will prefer to make the octahedral void, or will go into the tetrahedral void. I'm sorry. If it is very small, it will go into the tetrahedral void. But if it is bigger in size, then it will go for the octahedral voids. In a given compound, number of octahedral voids and the number of tetrahedral voids and number of octahedral voids filled, it depends upon the chemical formula of the compound. So let's move forward. Now the actual answer start. This was all the theory for us. Now let us understand the answer. Here Y anion fills the cubic close packing. Let's say the number of particles of Y are n, and X cation occupy the octahedral voids, and that are also n, because number of particle is equal to number of octahedral voids. Thus n is to n is equal to X is to Y. Please remember, my dear students, that here X is to Y is equal to N is to N. That means XY is the molecular formula of the compounds. So this is how, my dear students, we understand the molecular formula of the compound is X and Y or XY. बच्चों इसमें अगर कुछ समझ में नहीं आया तो पूछ लो.
आ रहे.
Okay, then let's move and next question. Atoms of the element B form HCP. Please remember, atoms of the element B form HCP lattice, and those of the element A occupy two-thirds of the tetrahedral void. Please remember, here we have two-thirds of the tetrahedral voids. What is the formula of the compound? So now you can see that B form HCP, that is, let us say n atoms of B, so we will have NB. A occupy two-thirds of tetrahedral voids, but number of tetrahedral void is equal to 2n, so we will have 2 divided by 3 multiplied by 2n. So now if we take the ratio, we will have NB is to 4 by 3. How do we get 4 by 3? 2 multiplied by 2 divided by 3, that is 4 by 3 Na. So we have NB is to 4 by 3 Na. If we multiply both of them with 3, what we will get? If we multiply both of them with 3, what we will get? 3NB is to 3 into 4Na divided by 3. This 3 and 3 get cancelled, and what we get is this, that 3NB is equal to 4Na. What we simply get is this, that 3NB is equal to 4Na. And therefore, my dear students, what we can write here is A by B is equal to, A by B is equal to, what we can say, A by B is equal to 3 by 4. Or you can say that A will have the 4, or you can see from the here itself that A will have the 4 and B will have the 3 atoms. So when you have 4 atoms of A, you will have 3 atoms of B. When you have 4 atoms of A, you will have 3 atoms of B, and that is why we can write the formula A for B3. So in these compounds, when you have 4 atoms of A present, you will have 3 atoms of B present, and this is how we find out the formula for a particular compound. Let us understand the same with one more example. A cubic solid is made of two elements P and Q atoms. If Q are at the corners and P at the body centered, what is the formula of the compound? What are the coordination number of P and Q? Now you can see the arrangement here, my dear